Hi, I'm so happy to see you. We are now on microhome number 7 and I'm building in Forgotten Hollow. That was the town that came with the Vampires game pack. And it's tiny actually. It consists of 5 lots or so. Really not many. But there's something I need you to know about me, and it's that I don't like occult gameplay in the Sims franchise in general. And I don't know why, because I actually don't mind occults. I think they are fun. I love them in other media like books, other video games, movies and series. It's just not for me in the Sims franchise for some reason. And I always give them a chance. Whenever a pack comes out with occults, I try them out at least once to see if it's for me or not, and it's usually not, but they are fun for a few hours. And Vampires released the first no, actually not, because Get to Work had aliens, but those don't count. I actually didn't try playing with aliens, so I'm a fraud. I'm sorry. But Vampires was the first occult pack for The Sims 4, I think. So it's been a while since it came out, and its style, it's something very different from my personal preference. So it's the furthest away from my personal style of gameplay and building. So whenever I felt like I needed a challenge, I came here to this town to build. And I actually counted that I've built 7 houses here. It's a lot for someone who doesn't like this style and this gameplay at all. I built a house that was base game on vampires only. I built 2 houses for the Let's Play that I've done to see if this is for me or not. Actually, one of them was a renovation, more like. I also built 2 Halloween houses. One of them was very recently. It was a haunted house that I've created this year for Halloween. And then I built a house for my super sim who tried to do the vampire aspirations, and I am building this one now. So it was a lot, and I wasn't very prepared for this house emotionally after the Halloween one, which was, as I said, very recently. I really need time to regain my motivation and inspiration to create in this area. So I struggled a lot with this house, and this is why it took so long. Of course, I had work to do and other things in my personal life, but it was mostly because I didn't feel inspired to do this house. So I'm sorry about that, but we are now over it. And actually it's very interesting because whenever I look back on these houses, I am satisfied with the result. I'm like, yeah, it was actually very fun. I should do this more often. But then I'm like, no, I really don't want to do this very often. And there are so many other birds in The Sims 4 that I adore. They are beautiful. Let's say Sulani, for example. It's amazing. And I always forget to build in there because I always look for a challenge and I think it's not healthy. I should do something about it. So I always look for places where I would feel like I really have to work hard to make it work, and I really have to find myself playing with items that I wouldn't normally. Oh, Ready Daddy looks very fresh on that picture, or in that picture down here. So yeah, it's very interesting that I've built so many houses here, and I think I've built like 2 or 3 in Sulani, so I should really work on my priorities sometimes. But it was very fun creating a micro home here at the end, and I've created this one for a single vampire. I have to be honest, I couldn't test this house for you because I forgot to do a vampire to do so. I think normal human Sims cannot use the coffin to sleep in or do anything in it. So I still need to test this house, but I promise before I will upload it to the gallery, to the public, it will be tested and it will work. So if you want to use it, go ahead. You can find my gallery ID in the description down below or at the end of this video on the last screenshot. Yeah, so I will test it. So this house was built for a single vampire who sleeps in a coffin, of course. And as you can see, I still built a kitchen. I don't know why, because it's not a necessity, but kind of my thought process was that when you move into a house, you already have a kitchen normally. Like, people do not bring their kitchen cabinets and utilities with them. And the same is true for the bathroom. And I thought that the vampire who moved in here just kept it for, I don't know, for just pretend that when someone comes into their home, they can pretend that they are normal human beings and then, you know, do their thing. So yeah, that was the thought process behind it, and I think it looks okay, but you can get rid of it. And also I thought that a fridge would be very useful for vampires to keep their plasma packs in. Maybe, I don't know. It's really up to you if you get rid of these things, but this vampire got rid of the dining area. There's no dining area here. I didn't feel like it's necessary. Why would you put a dining area in a vampire's home, you know? And actually everything should work. The only thing that needs a very precise test is the coffin. And I also found myself using the same items for these builds. I always use the vampire's pack, of course, because it fits this vibe the most. And I also want this house to be easy to download for you. So if you have the vampire's pack, you should be good to go. It's not vampire's pack only. I used other packs as well, but the main structure and doors and windows and really wallpapers, floors are from the vampire's pack. You can see that I used a flooring from Island Living downstairs, but I will change that. So you should be good to go with vampires and romantic garden stuff. Actually, I used a lot of items from romantic garden stuff, which was new to me. I actually don't really use that pack that often, so it was a nice change for me. And actually I found very great items for this kind of gothic theme. And I added a small graveyard in the garden because it's an ongoing theme for me. If you live in Forgotten Hollow, you have to have a graveyard, because why not? And I also think it's great because, as I said, I'm trying to create unique micro homes, even though the kitchens tend to look the same and have the same size these days. But I really try to create unique micro homes with unique backyards, at least, because that's something that I have the most control of, as the inside is very limited in size and floor plan variety. So I think it was fun to do this graveyard for this micro home, and I'm very happy with it. And also I added these statues that I never use, and they look great here. I think this fence structure is also very nice looking. Sorry, my vocabulary is running out. I don't know if I said it, but I'm doing this voiceover after work, so my accent and my speech or speaking ability worsens over time when I'm tired, so please bear with me. I hope you still understand what I'm saying. We are on the backyard side now, so I'm very happy because this means that we are getting close to have a final finished product. I was debating whether I should add a wedding arch to this backyard, and I think it would have looked so amazing, but I didn't. add it. I think a Gothic wedding would look amazing in this place, and you could use this house to just prepare for your wedding and then have a very small private wedding with your close relatives, or relatives maybe. It would have looked amazing, but I skipped on the idea. It looks still fun. I said before that I want to create a space in these micro homes that has a lot of skill building items and outdoor activities, so that you can actually use these houses for something else than taking care of your Sims needs. And I think this is kind of a passive backyard for this house, because the only gameplay activity that I added was this wishing well. I never use this wishing well. I always forget that it exists, and I was very happy about the fact that I remembered that this is a thing here, and I think it's fun. But yeah, I think a wedding area would have been a better idea. I don't think you use these wishing wells as much either, but let me know in the comments if you use this wishing well. I know that the wishes can go wrong, like when you ask for money, you can lose money, or if you wish for youth, you can die or become an elder or something. So it's actually fun. I love the Sims quirkiness, but I never really use these items, so let me know if you do. What's positive is that with the new update after Forend, the stairs got fixed, so they're I don't know, I always forget that word. I always do. I did the same in my other voiceovers. Anyway, the fences work now properly with stairs. And this might be a great workaround. And I'm perfectly sure that you know that bug, because it was very frustrating and I talked a lot about that. So yeah, that's a plus. Of course, this means that you cannot really customize the stairs that well, because they always clip into walls and have these visual glitches now. But I think it's the better solution than not being able to use fences with the stairs, if you know what I mean. And I'm actually very, very enthusiastic about Forend and the building features. I'm not really sold on the theme, the overall theme, because I find it very hard to build with that pack, because I do not really know how to use those items properly, because there's a lot of culture in that pack, which is amazing. Actually, I'm very happy that they did that, but also it's a culture that I'm so not familiar with it, and I'm very uncomfortable building in it, because I always feel like I'm actually offending someone, and I'm trying, but I'm in an inspiration dump right now. So I don't know how many houses will I be able to build in that style, but it's really not the topic of this video. I don't know why I brought it up, but now we are at the screenshots, and I'm very happy that I got to the end of this video. I hope that you are proud of me too. As you can see, I changed the floor style, so I think you would be good to go with this pack if you had vampires and romantic garden stuff. Of course, I used a few items from other packs, but it's not major, so it's kind of a limited speed build. But I need to say goodbye now. I'm so happy that you joined me and were able to watch this video until this point. See you next time. Bye bye.